Hello and welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for checking it out. This is the Hedge Card Manager. It's essentially a podcast. I open boxes of cards and packs of cards and rant about them and tell stories and reminisce about my old card collection. So on this episode, we are going through three different boxes. Well, two boxes and then a random, it was like 100 cards from packs of baseball cards that I bought. And the way this came about was I was home for the holidays and I was looking through my old cards and I was like, hey, where's my old cards? I graduated high school in 2000. I was born in 1981 and I collected basketball, football, and hockey cards. I had a lot of baseball cards as well. And I had some decent cards. I would say my card collection was somewhere in the $5,000 range. There was a bunch of Michael Jordan cards that might have been worth a pretty penny. I'm not exactly sure, but I have a feeling there was a few that were. So anyways, what's left of my card collection is these kind of worn down junky cards. A lot of Scottie Pippens. I was from the Chicago area early on in my life and was a huge Bears and then Bulls fan. We lived in Western New York. And then in Bills country. So I kind of, later on in life, started rooting for the Bills. But anyways, so my parents got rid of my card collection. And what really happened was someone stole it, a family member, and sold them because they knew I knew what I was doing when I was a kid. So anyways, I wanted to get back in the game. And I started looking up online what the prices of these cards were. And I kind of missed the whole card boom in 2020. And kind of didn't realize that people were buying and selling cards. It was like a thing again. So started doing some research and understood that, the game is get it rated by a grading company. PSA is the big one. And then if it grades perfect, it's worth some money. If it doesn't, it's not worth any money. So immediately I just bought like a couple cheap boxes and was like, all right, I'll see if I get any good cards. I'll send them to PSA, and then I'll get them graded. I didn't know it was $25 a card at PSA. So like this card, the centering's pretty good, and it trades for, a little under 100 in a perfect. It's not a perfect. I mean, there's just no way it's so anyways, I got these three boxes, but I just wanted to go through my old cards. The ones I got that we're going to be opening on this episode is these just random older 90s baseball cards. 91 football and then 91 Fleer basketball. So this is this card here. This is the big money card from that box we're going to be opening up. It's actually not here yet. It's been taken forever. So since then, I bought two more boxes just because as I was waiting for the boxes to come, I learned kind of the game, and then so I bought an 87 box of baseball cards, hoping there was going to be something in a lower grade that would be worth, taking a PSA. But I mean, that's just a big if. I mean, it's $25 a card. If you take over 20 cards, then it's like 17 a card. This is Judd Bushler. He played for the Bulls. That's why I know who he was. He was like their 13th man. He was like the worst player on their team, but he was pretty good. He was a former Kings of the Beach volleyball player. Here's some hockey cards. Really not much here. I mean, I do have a eBay account where I'm going to put up these cards for a penny. Maybe not these, maybe a few of these. I don't know. The ones that I don't take the PSA from the boxes, I'll just put them up for a penny. I'll put them in top loader. So, I mean, if you get it for under 40 cents, I mean, it's a 40 cents top loader or 50 cents top loader, basically. So I like Jeremy Roenick. I like Chris Chelios. I like the Chicago Blackhawks. Ed Belfour. I had a bunch of those cards. I had a bunch of Wayne Gretzky cards. My best cards were like Scottie Pippen cards and then those Michael Jordan cards. I traded a buddy for the Michael Jordan cards. Here's a bunch of random football cards I have. And then we'll get into the baseball. And then here's a Chris Carter card. John Elway card. The John Elway card looks nice. It's a good looking card. This Junior Seau card is actually really good centering. I kind of want to send one of these. There's a card in here that I think has perfect centering just to see if. But the problem is if they're a little older with, putting them in a black light. I don't know how that works. We're going to find that. And I'll do episodes about that as well. I already shot my next 2 episodes with the other boxes. I've learned a lot in a short amount of time, but you kind of have to do it in order to know the game. Trace Armstrong, I was a big fan of his. This is a Refrigerator Perry moments card when he scored a touchdown. It was a big controversy. Walter Payton was like their franchise player, and that was back when running backs dominated the NFL. And Refrigerator Perry wasn't on weight to play defense. The defensive coach Buddy Ryan kicked him off of defense, so Mike Ditka put him in as a running back, and he scored the touchdown in the Super Bowl, and not Walter Payton. Walter Payton's my favorite player. He was my favorite athlete growing up. We share the same birthday, and I had a couple of his cards. I had a couple of his. I think I had all of his rookie cards, and then just a lot of cards from the '90s and stuff. So it was really sad that I don't get to go through them, and it's not really about the money. The money was just gonna allow me to buy more cards. That's all I would do with the money. Neil Anderson, he kind of replaced Walter Payton. You'll hear people say common cards. To me, a common card is a Neil Anderson card. It's, not common to me. I know Neil Anderson. I followed his career. I thought he was pretty good. But, yeah, it's just a common card. I had so many Neil Andersons. Thurman Thomas, Mr. Fumble. I went to 2 Bills games as a kid, and I went to the game where he fumbled 4 times. I also went to the game where he fumbled like 4 times. They're playing the Raiders, and then they ended up coming back. We were one of the people that left. This guy, he let in a comeback for the Bills too. But that was I was at home for that game. That was a media blackout. There wasn't enough people at the game or something, so the network blacked out the game, so you had to listen to it on the radio. This is a good centered card, and then. These are just kind of like modern cards. Chris Dishman, he was really good. Steve Wright, he was really good. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to put... If they're not in good condition, I'm going to go through them again. If they're not in good condition, I won't put them up. But I got a bunch of other cards on the eBay account, all for a penny. I mean, I just figure someone else can do something with them. Some of them are in, the good ones that are in good condition. You can take your shot at the dark. But yeah, so that's basically the game. Is see if you can't get a card, get a 10. And then the other way is to buy cards that were already rated, and then what I call market speculators. The speculators. I call myself, what I'm doing is hedging, where I'm I'll leave a couple of these up, but so we'll get into the baseball, where I'm hedging my bets. This was $10. So I'll bet on this, I'll bet on that, I'll bet on this, I'll bet on that, and that is what you're betting on. This is what you're not betting on. That is what could be popular in the future. This is what's popular now, that kind of thing. And also really no rhyme or reason to it. Just kind of go for it. Really just have fun opening packs. I mean, that's just really what it's about more than anything. This is a 88 Don Russ. No, this is a score, a 1988 Major League score. Pack. I don't know much about baseball. I know the big names. I watched, during the Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire era where they were hitting home runs and stuff. And then I watched the Mariners in the early 2000s when they were good. I was into them. But so far, we have not come across a player that I know. Um, so, like always, if you see me come through something and then you go on the eBay and you don't see it on there, leave a comment. Hit me up and say, hey, why don't you put that on there? It's a Jamie Moyer card. I know who he is because he played for the Mariners. He was a knuckleball pitcher. I like Jamie Moyer. He was my neighbor. I always have to say that. I live by him. Yeah, we'll just move right along here. It's a puzzle card. This is a Donruss. I believe this is another 88. I'll go order from oldest to newest. So what I'm learning is 87 was a good year for baseball cards. 88 was not. Mike Fielder. I wonder if he is Cecil Fielder's father. I don't know. I literally don't know what to do with these cards. These are going to end up getting thrown out again when I move. All right, here's a 1990s. Another Donruss. I would always get packs from for Christmas and stuff. They get a lot of baseball. I liked hockey cards the most. I still like hockey cards the most. I know basketball the best. I watch basketball the most, and then football. But I like it's a puzzle card. But I like Greg Maddux. I like hockey cards. Greg Maddux to me is like Phillip Rivers of the San Diego Chargers. They were good players. Their teams were terrible. Their franchises were terrible, and then we remember them. But maybe they weren't that good because their teams were terrible. But I guess it's not, just contingent on one person. Wade Boggs? All right. That's a cool card, I guess. I know him. I'll do a little winning circle. I'll put a winning circle. I'll put the ones I know to the side here. And we'll go through them later. So always stick around to the end of the video. And then I'll kind of go through my plan of what I'm going to do with them. And then I'll show you which ones are going to go on the penny auction or which ones are going to go to PSA. I mean, always check the penny auction. A lot of times if I say it's going to PSA, there's a good chance I back out of it and let someone else take that chance. At least with this, you can see the card. If you buy raw cards, you don't always know what card you're buying, especially if you buy them from card dealers. You don't know if it's the actual card you're buying. I'll go through the cards again and show you which ones I thought were worth taking another look at. I'll kind of research them just real quick off camera, and then I'll come back to you on the same video here. But this is just, it's 91. Let's see if we have another. This is a 90. Let's do 90. This is a Fleer baseball. So, yeah, I mean, this was $10. It's 100 cards. My budget's pretty limited. I'm doing this isn't something I really have the money to be spending on right now. Cal Ripken Jr., that's cool. I know him. Um, so I kind of have to be careful. This budget for this project was $100. Now I'm at $66 with the two cases and then these packs. Um, and if I take two to PSA, then I'm over my 100. And then if they don't hit, if I don't get tens, and if I don't have cards that are worth being tens, then my best bet is just to put them up for penny auction, and then let someone else, you know, take them and take a chance on them, or try to flip them, or trade them, or just keep them. I mean, it's about just getting to have some cards, and you get the cards you want. Oakland A's sticker, that's kind of cool. Ricky Henderson, I know who he is. Mr. Stolen Base, right? I'll put him in the winning circle. Edgar Martinez, I know who he was. He was a Mariner. We got a checklist card. Yeah, so all the cards go up for a penny if I don't end up deciding to keep them and go roll the dice. And yeah, I'll probably make a separate video about that. But I'm a little nervous about that after the last two. I just kind of learned the lesson of getting a 10. I mean, you look at the what you call it, the centering. I mean, that's just so hard to tell from the naked eye. I mean, I'm sure they measure it so they know exactly if it's on or not. Here's another Ricky Henderson. That's cool. Put that one in the winning circle. This is our, what was this, our 91 pack. Sorry, I'm not. And that's the other thing I need to learn to do is study like what comes in what I'm looking for. But I know that more with the basketball and the hockey. But it's like it's late at night. It's like $10. You're like, I'll just do it. Which I don't really have. I mean, I take the bus to work. I don't have a car. Like I should be saving my money to get a car and stuff. But instead, I'm buying baseball cards. And whatever that thing is that people have where they collect like gas cans and like bottle caps or whatever that what's called being a hoarder, whatever that thing is. I kind of have that. I kind of like to do that. So I got to be careful. I got to like make sure I don't get carried away. There we go, Barry Bonds. That's a fun card, I guess. I like Barry Bonds. Put that in the winning circle. We gonna be able to make our $10 back? I don't know. Probably not. Cal Ripken. I mean, you take it to PSA, you get it graded. Year later, you get it sold, maybe. But let's check out this Barry Bonds here. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, just from a quick look, like it's not centered top to bottom very well. Left to right, it's okay, but top to bottom, it's not centered that well. But yeah, that concludes the baseball. All right, so they've arrived. My football and the basketball cards have arrived. I did it again though. I bought another player card set. So it was my fault. It wasn't eBay's fault or the seller on eBay's fault. But it was a little tricky what they did, how they kind of sold it. But anyways, I really got to look out for that because I thought I was buying a box of packs. It was only $10, but still, I thought I was buying like a bunch of packs. I mean, it's 1991 football. I'm not going to go through it because it already says the names on the back here, and the best player on here is like Ronnie Lott, and it's just silliness. I was looking for Brett Favre's rookie card, and then the other thing is like as I was waiting for it, I was like, well, Brett Favre's rookie card. I mean, it's good and it's a fun card to have, but I mean, it's dropping in value like crazy. I mean, that's fine. I don't really care about that stuff too much. I do it more for like the memories, and I just enjoy, opening up cards and I like looking at cards. But it's a good lesson, like the Brett Favre lesson. Like players might be good for a decade, and then if someone else is good in that decade, and then they're good in the next decade, it can really ruin the value of that card. So, Drew Brees and Brady beating all the records are really gonna like cement their legacy, and then they're gonna be the hot cards in 40 years. So you got unless you really like Brett Favre, I mean, this is the time to get rid of his card. And really, all those, you have Jim Kelly, you have John Elway and Warren Moon. You have Dan Marino. I mean, they're all great players, but what are you gonna do? Like, if someone else comes along, they're gonna go to him. So, I just opened the first pack. This is 91 basketball. This is Fleer. Opened the first pack, and I was been pretty down. I was pretty upset, but now I am not. Bang-a-rang, Rufio. Bang-a-rang. Bang-a-rang. Yeah. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All right. Starting off with a bang. We're going to put him in the winner's circle here. Yeah. I was worried. I was going to like start thinking that these cards were two coaches in a row, though. That's weird. Grant Long. I had these cards before. Two more coaches in a row. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of in a bad mood because of that box of another coach. All right, we're starting a coacher circle. All right, the Keem the Dream, Elijah one. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, another coach. Oh wow. Oh wow. I mean, I should start the coacher circle. Well, let's see how many coaches we get. Let's do that. I mean, this series did have a lot of coaches. So, and the Phil Jackson's one is pretty a pretty good card. So, and I like weird stuff, so I shouldn't complain. I want to start a collection where I collect kickers. Actually, I'm gonna like put them on my eBay, but I got a bunch of kickers are going up on the next penny auction. So I don't know if I should do the penny auction. I'm kind of worried. I got penny auction going right now. I got Jose Canseco rookie. I got Mark McGuire rookie, and I have Bo Jackson rookie, all up on a penny auction right now. And I think someone's gonna get some really good cards for like less than $1, which is, yeah, it's just not what I was hoping for. Sam Bowie, I remember him. All right, here we go. Charles Barkley, Sir Charles. For those that don't know, Charles Barkley. Oh, let's put him in the winner circle. He was always that kind of like funny guy. Before it was like socially accepted to just say whatever you want. They called it like foot and mouth disease. Like you weren't allowed to just. Ron Harper. Is Ron Harper? Yeah. Ron Harper played for the Bulls. I like Ron Harper. I'll say it as a sign. I like Ron Harper. It's a game one card. I'm not really sure from what game. Before it was like Mark Price. He was good, but he never got a lot of credit. Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was awesome. He hit like 6 3-pointers against the Knicks. I think it was against the Knicks in under like, what was it, like 90 seconds? Oh, another Jordan. Michael Jordan. All right. Take it. Winner circle. The thing about Michael Jordan is he was better, but like not by a lot. And the Bulls were better than everybody else, but not by a lot. Like Tim Hardaway. I like Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway, I remember him. He played, I think it was the Heat when he got traded to the Heat. Is this his rookie card? No, it's not. Tim Hardaway's a man, He was really good. He played when he played for the Heat. The Heat gave the Bulls a really good run for their money. Who's this Sonics I missed? Ricky Pierce. I don't know him. So yeah, they were like that's why it was so like dramatic. They would win, but not by a lot, and that's what made this story just so much better. It was like this story unfolding. Xavier McDaniels, he's pretty good. Reggie Williams, I remember him. Glenn Rice, all right, Glenn Rice was good. Glenn Rice he was at the Hornets. He was an all-star. Glenn Rice is good. Good shooter. Lights out. Glenn Rice. Apparently he used to another coach. Oh, 2 in a row. So this is kind of a theme in a lot of these packs. Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin was on the original Dream Team. Chris Mullin's from Brooklyn. Doing the Charles Barkley. Yeah. I'll put those. Ooh, 3 in a row. 3 good cards in a row. Patrick Ewing. Oh, another good card. I was going to stop, but I got so many things to say, but we got another one. Tim Hardaway. Oh, and then I'll keep going. This is a good one. Bill Laimbeer. One of the original bad boys. He's the one that taught like all the guys how to play dirty. Kenny the Jet Smith. I like Kenny the Jet Smith. He's fun. He was always fun. And Charles was always fun too. But yeah, like I was saying, he was doing that before it was like socially acceptable. Like people just didn't know how to handle that. How to handle like just people saying what they believe and what they think. So but yeah, Chris Mullin, he's a good player, he's a good shooter. His shooting percentage was ridiculous. I think the best shooting percentage is Jerry West. And a little fun fact, the logo of the NBA is a silhouette of Jerry West. Or so I've been told. The NBA's little logo. So, not bad so far. I got no complaints. I'm definitely in a better mood. Got some good cards. Brian Shaw. I think he was. This is 90. What is this again? This is 91. So by the time 93, 94 rolls around, a lot of these guys are on different teams. James Worthy. That's a good card. Detlef Shrimp. He played for the Sonics. He was really good. All-star card. Danny Manning was pretty good. A league leaders, Michael Jordan. The Bulls, for what it's worth, their announcing their like intro was the best, from music to like the announcer. The guy just got it right. Some people like other teams' intros better, but I just think the Bulls was the best. But I was obviously biased. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. That whole thing, that whole just watching Bulls games. I mean, it was quite the show. After it, I didn't want to watch any other basketball. I was done after that. It wasn't the same. I watched it. I watched it up until probably like 2003, 2004. So this is a Michael Jordan. I don't know, like specialty card. That's pretty cool. Here's a checklist card. David Robinson, the Admiral. David Robinson. So Chael Sonnen, he's an MMA fighter. I don't know if he said it first or Joe Rogan said it first, but they said, I don't know what Brian Stan's politics are, but I would vote for him for president. Brian Stan was a MMA fighter who was like a Marine. And he was just like a guy that you just looked at him and he looked presidential. He looked like a guy that like would go into politics. And Joe Rogan said it, and Chael Sonnen said it, and it kind of caught on. People were like, "Man, that guy should actually run." Well, I'm gonna say it about David Robinson. Like, I don't know what his politics are, but if he ran, I would vote for him. I would. I have no idea like anything about the guy other than like he was just a. Oh, did I lose my video? He was just a a good guy, and like a guy that commands respect, like a guy that like I'll listen to that guy, like I'll pay attention to what he says. So Karl Malone, another guy. He was from the South. He was from like Mississippi. He was from like a town of like 200 people. But Karl Malone was cool. Karl Malone was good though. I hated Karl Malone because he almost beat the Bulls. Like the guy was good. He was the only guy that Dennis Rodman couldn't. Another coach that Dennis Rodman couldn't get into his head. Dennis Rodman is funny if you watch him. And you go on YouTube and watch these old videos of like Dennis Rodman doing his little trash. He doesn't really trash talk, but he'll get into it with guys and then he'll smack them on the butt and then run down the court and stuff. And it's really funny. And Karl Malone would just smack him back on the butt. It was so funny. They go back and forth, and he would get the better of Dennis. Like you can get in Dennis's head. Like Dennis would D guys up. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson was good. The Knicks were good, man. The Knicks were good. I had a Patrick Ewing card earlier. I got like a 20 game pass when I was in college because Patrick Ewing had gone to the Seattle Supersonics, and I was like, yeah, I'll go watch Patrick Ewing play. Even though he hardly ever played, he just sat on the bench. He never played. Michael Jordan. Yeah. I'll move him to the winning circle. All right, here's another Jordan card. This is pretty cool. So yeah, so far this is a fun box. This box was like $40 with shipping. It wasn't wrapped. It was a bit of a stretch. It took forever to get here. It took like 3 weeks to get here. This seller, I don't know. I don't want to put him on blast, but man, it was I mean, I just put the thing in the mail, man. It's like, what are you guys doing over there? Isaiah Thomas. So Isaiah was good. They always make a big deal about how him and Michael Jordan didn't get along. Not Kobe Bryant. Scottie Pippen hated Isaiah Thomas. Michael Jordan, like, I don't know if he really, how much he disliked him. I think I think he got to like him, but he didn't want to say he liked him later on, just because, like, Rick Sims was good. I don't know. I just feel like when Michael was leaving the NBA, I mean, Isaiah was a coach and stuff, and I don't think they didn't like each other. Like they played on All-Star game with each other, or I guess he coached them or something. But Scottie Pippen hates him, so I don't have a problem with him. But I thought he was a tough guy. I didn't see why he was so good though. But I guess his team was good. Clyde Drexler. I thought Clyde was good. He was fun to watch. Byron Scott was a coach. I knew him as a coach. D Brown. Here's D Brown. He was a shorter guy. He could jump out of the gym. He was fun to watch. One of my friends really liked D Brown. I can't remember why. Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson was really good. The Knicks were really good, man. I was worried about getting beat by the Knicks. But we always took care of business. The Bulls, that is. I like the Bulls. I was a huge Bulls fan. I still am. I still like the Bulls. I just don't pay attention too much. But, if they're hiring, I am open to come be the general manager. But I really want to tell Michael Jordan that. I mean, I'll be his general manager. Like, I can't do any worse job than he does. I mean, geez Louise. Like, what are you doing over there? It's not that hard of a job. Get two guards. I'll tell you the secret. Get a two guard. Don't go after centers unless it's a for sure thing. Then go after two guards. You're a two guard. Go after two guards. Two guards dominate the NBA. Go after two guards. I'll say it again. Like, point guard, maybe. Like, there's been a few point guards that were really good, and point guards had their, a time in the NBA where they were good, but, man, go get a two guard. Vlade. All right, that will shut me up, because I'll talk about Vlade here for a minute. Vlade Divac. I hated him. To the point where, like, I said if I ever see that guy, I'm going to punch him in the face. And I don't know why. To this day, I don't know what it is, why I don't like Vlade Divac. I don't know. I think it was either something to do with flopping or traveling. There was something about him I didn't like. But he seems like a nice guy. He seems like an okay guy. He's like a coach now or something. He was pretty good, but I don't know. He did something that really annoyed me. But yeah, this case has a ton of coaches. So yeah, watch out for that. But I guess there's a few in here that do okay. And yeah, some people like the coach cards. The Phil Jackson one, I mean, that'd be nice for you, Phil. I like Coach Phil. Nick Anderson. I like Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson's good. Nick Anderson's real good. He had what do you have, like a 50-point game or something one time? People didn't think Nick Anderson was as good as he was. Nick Anderson was good. D Brown. Tyrone Bogues. Every time I see a Tyrone Bogues song, I forget that his name's actually Tyrone and not Muggsy. Muggsy Bogues. He was 5'3". Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge has a lot of championships. Danny Ainge is like the reason why you can't say like the best player, the best pound for pound player. Larry Bird is whoever has the most championships, because Danny Ainge has a lot, and like he's definitely not the best. I mean, he was good, but he played for a lot of teams, and he played for a lot of winning teams. So Jeff Hornacek, he was real good too. He played for the Jazz, I think, his whole career. I mean, him and John Stockton and Cromwell. I mean, that's really all they needed. I can't name you another Jazz player. I mean, I probably could, but I mean, I really only remember those three. There was like Anton Carr or something like that, I think was a guy that played for the Jazz. But I mean, just those three guys, they're very unassuming guys. Like, those three guys got it done. Those three guys beat the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. I think twice. I think they beat them twice to go to the finals. I mean, they were good. And speaking of Utah Jazz's, John Stockton. John Stockton's actually from Spokane. He went to Spokane, and he probably still lives there today. I don't know, but what's funny about that is the people of Seattle. Oh, Spud Webb, I love. He's probably his highlight reel for the dunk contest is probably my favorite. I like Spud Webb. Yeah, here we go. Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp was probably one of the most fun people to watch dunk. He was like before Vince Carter. It was Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp would just throw it down so hard, and he'd do the tomahawk dunk. I don't know if he was the original tomahawk dunker, but I think he was. Cliff Robinson was good. Bill Cartwright. Bill Cartwright shot funny. He shot like over his head, but he was a good player for the Bulls. He was a journeyman. He played forever. He played all throughout like the 80s and then in the 90s too. So, yeah. But yeah, the people in Seattle are weird. So they don't really care about John Stockton. They love Shawn Kemp. They don't really care about Gary Payton. They like Gary Payton, but there's just certain people they just absolutely love. And one is Ken Griffey Jr. And Ken Griffey Jr. lived in Seattle, but not really. I mean, he doesn't really say he's from Seattle. Gary Payton went to school in Oregon. I think that's why they don't really like him. I think they like him. I mean, he played his whole career in Seattle. He lives in Seattle. He lives on the Glove. The Glove is a boat, and I know this because my friend worked on a gas dock and at a gas dock, and the Glove is his yacht, and he would always come by on the Glove. That's Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale was a Celtic legend. Rick Schmitz, another Rick Schmitz. He was good. Will Purdue. The Bulls had a lot of funny big men, but Will Purdue in the winning circle. Even though his card's not worth anything, but I like Will Purdue. Rick Schmitz, I like Rick Schmitz. So yeah. Oh, and Kevin McHale goes in the winning circle. Sorry. Let me leave you hanging on the screen here. I just sorting through them, so I don't have to sort through them later. So we got, yeah, about half the packs left. So yeah, we got a bunch of fun cards and a bunch of fun memories so far. Another All-Star game card. That's cool. I think that's pretty cool. Danny Manning. Reggie Lewis, but not the Reggie Lewis. Oh, Reggie Lewis. I'm thinking of, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Rashad Lewis from the Sonics. Michael Jordan. That's awesome. Kenny Smith. Kenny the Jet Smith. Terry Porter. So I believe 91, B.J. Armstrong and Sean Kemp. Yeah, B.J. Armstrong. I like B.J. Armstrong. I think this was the year the Bulls, 91, I think it was the year they played the Blazers. But no, I don't remember who they played in 91-92 championship. Could have been. It could have been Blazers. But that could have been, yeah, I don't know. It could have been Lakers. Maybe it was Lakers. And then it was the next year they played the Blazers. But the Blazers were good. The Blazers were real good. Real good. Rex Chapman, I remember him. Yeah, Byron Scott. He ended up coaching the Lakers forever. Clyde the Glide. Another Kevin Johnson. This is just like another pack we had. I was going to say we haven't gotten a coach in a while, but there we go. We got another coach. Yeah, I think I could be a good GM. I really do. I really do. And I'm not kidding. They could retire me. I think a lot of people could, though. I mean, they hire business people, and I can do business, but, like, you know, you got to have a sports guy, too. You know, you got to know sports. Um, and you got to be able to break it down. Like, you know, you got to be able to archive it, like, kind of section it off in your brain. Like, you know, it's kind of like trading cards. You got to know when the stock of a card, you know, is going down. Dennis Rodman. And, you know, guys like Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause was the GM of the Bulls. He got a lot of credit for putting that team together, but he's never done it since. Never done it since. So, yeah, you did it once, but you couldn't repeat it. Why can't you repeat it? Why couldn't you repeat what's and Jerry Reinsdorf is the owner of the Bears, and he's never won a championship. He sold it because he never won a championship. And then I know he's involved with Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause is like a yes man. I know Reinsdorf. They're like in the office with him all the time. He's always talking to him. I tell him what he wants him to do. I just know him. You know, you make a decision, you live with it. But like after a 10-year period, you got to stop making the same mistakes. You got to stop going after these big men. You got to stop going after these big guys that aren't proven. It's just crazy. It drives me absolutely crazy. Spud Webb. You got to go after two guards, man. It's simple. Get two guards. Sean Kemp. The Bulls won 6 championships with a two guard and a very good forward, and then a bunch of jobbers. A bunch of absolute jobbers. Bunch of guys that come in and do a job. Good players. Absolutely good players. But come on. They're just jobbers. They go to any other team, they're not even close to they're not the close to doing anything positive on the team. John Paxson. Don't mean to criticize the guy. The guy can shoot threes, but he's got to be very open to shoot threes. Charles Oakley was good. They got rid of him. And then brought in Horace Grant, and I mean that worked out. And then they brought in Rodman and Kukoc, and those are good moves. Going after threes and going after guys that are big and tall and can run. That's smart, but it's risky. It's absolutely risky. There's an All-Star game card. That's pretty cool. Whatever. Mitch Richmond. It drives me crazy watching sports and seeing these business owners not know what they're doing. And they're fans of sports. It's not like, they think they know what they're doing. I mean, there's a reason why the same teams are always good. It's because of the owners. Because the owners hire the right people. Or they know how to run the team. There's a reason why the 49ers are always good. There's a reason why the Cowboys are usually good. There's a reason why the Bills are terrible, the Bulls are terrible, and the Bears are terrible. It's because of the owner. It's just because of the owner. And there's a lot of people that could come in and do that job. But they won't let us do it. Charles Barkley. Another Ron Harper. Rick Skiles. He was okay. Reggie Miller. I hated Reggie Miller, but I liked him because he was the Knick killer. He could kill the Knicks. But I didn't like him because he could almost kill the Bills, too. He was good. Reggie wouldn't back down for anybody. But he did that thing where he kicked his leg out, and it was kind of an offensive foul. And that was frustrating. Jeff Hornacek. I would get really into it, man. I would get so into basketball. Oh man, I would jump on the ground and stuff I would be physically ill after they lost. I had a problem. I had a serious problem. And then I kind of just chilled out from it and I just stopped watching all together and watch from afar. It's just a game. Not supposed to get too into it. So, Magic Johnson. It's weird, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, I know they're good because Michael Jordan said they were good. And I believe that he said they were good. But from watching them play, maybe it's because they were a little older. If you saw Michael Jordan play, not his last season with the Bulls, but his first season, another B.J. Armstrong, another Sean Kemp, yeah. Oh, and another Nick Anderson. These packs, they come in waves, so the good cards. Anyways, if you saw him play against, when he played for the Wizards, you'd be like, man, this guy's not very good. He aged really fast. After the last he was good. The last championship year, he was good. He was great. I mean, the team was great. They won 72 games, and then the next season they won a bunch of games, and then that was it. And then Jerry Krause broke up the team, and didn't want to pay Scottie Pippen, didn't want to pay Phil Jackson. They all wanted to get paid, and they left. And then he retired, and then he came out of retirement and went to the Wizards. And when he came out of retirement and went to the Wizards, he was terrible. He couldn't make a shot. He couldn't dunk. He couldn't run up the floor. And he was only 39 years old. Think of it now. Think of it. What's his name? LeBron James is, 38, 39, 40? I don't know how old he is. LeBron James is 6'8", 250 pounds. Let me tell you a little secret, guys. Guys that are that big and that can run the floor like that and are that old and haven't slowed down at all, they're on steroids. LeBron James is on steroids, just so you know. That guy's on testosterone. Michael Jordan, he was not. And you can tell because when it was time for him to be done, he was done. He was done. The guy couldn't make a shot, man. He couldn't make a shot. He couldn't run up down the court. It was frustrating. It was super frustrating to watch because, you're used to him. He gets cold sometimes. He wasn't really a streaky shooter, but he needed to get going. And he was never the best shooter. That's the thing about Michael Jordan. He knew how to get baskets. And yeah, there was a thing where he took the ball to the basket and the refs would call foul, every time. The refs did kind of help him out. So when I was a kid, my friend had 45 Michael Jordan cards. And he had some really good Michael Jordan cards. And in order to get those cards, he was just done with cards and he hated Michael Jordan. And he was smashing a few of them. 4 of them were ruined because he just absolutely, just bent them. He got mad. And he was mad because he thought the refs gave Michael Jordan special treatment. And there was a book called The Jordan Rules, and a bunch of the Pistons, were saying the league is like giving this guy special treatment. They're trying to like make more money. They're trying to promote the league, and they're using this well-spoken, really nice, like just Southern gentleman named Michael Jordan, who's like really good and kind of flashy. But there was already flashy guys. There was Dominic Wilkins, a human highlight reel, and so, anyways, my friend Matt got really into comic books, and he was like, "I'll give you the cards if you admit that the refs give Michael Jordan special treatment, and if you get that comic book from Billy Bob. Oh no, Jim Bob. Sorry, if you get that comic book from Jim Bob." So Jim Bob had this comic book that he wanted, and he wouldn't sell it or trade it to Matt because Matt had borrowed, quote unquote, his comic books. He went into his bag and took them out of his bag without permission and took them home. And he said, "Oh, I was just borrowing it." "Yeah, you were stealing it." Anyways, and he's like, "Well, Jim Bob just stole it," which was probably true. So, anyways, I go up to Jim Bob and I say, "Hey, I got $15. Will you sell me your comic book?" And he's like, "I'd rather trade you for something." And I was like, "Well, I don't have anything." And I was just, I had $15. I don't know where I got it, but so he's like, "Yeah, but just don't sell it to Matt." And I was like, "All right." So I traded it to Matt. Well, he found out, and apparently he was looking for me. But then, like, I come in on Monday thinking, Jim Bob's looking for me, and turns out over the weekend he was in a drive-by. He was the driver for a drive-by shooting with a sawed-off 22. And this was in the 6th grade. I grew up in the country, so I dodged something, a bullet there. Antoine Carr, that's the guy that played for the Jazz that I knew. He wore these glasses. Paxson. So, anyways, that's how I got these really good, these really valuable Michael Jordan cards, and plus, I had all these cards as well. But like, I'll see videos of like the most valuable Michael Jordan cards, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I had that one. Yeah, I had that one." So, but someone's took them from me, and I'm sure they sold them, which is kind of a scumbag move. So we're back in the card game, trading some cards, and I don't know. I'll put a lot of these up on the penny auction, I guess. I mean, I kind of committed to the penny auction, so I think the penny auction's fun. I don't really know. I mean, it's just fun for me to look through the cards, and then people can take them and do whatever they want with them, move them or keep them, keep the good ones. Save you from spending $40, on cards you don't want, and you can spend, a couple cents to a couple bucks on cards you do want. So, and I like looking through the old cards. So this is Mark Jackson. Yeah, Mark Jackson. So he played for the. He got traded to the. What you call it? The Pacers. Him and Reggie Miller, they were good. He was in the Knicks, and then he went to the Pacers. So another Barkley. That's pretty awesome. There's another Chris Mullin. So yeah, we're just getting a lot of the same cards. Pretty fun though. Patrick Ewing. So yeah, not a total bust. Kind of redeems me getting the football box, and I had bought those baseball cards, and the baseball ones weren't bad. I was expecting the baseball to be a complete bust, but it was fun to go through. Getting the Barry Bonds was pretty cool, and another All-Star card, Mitch Richmond. I should see what rookie cards are in this. Dennis Rodman. Not a lot. I know that Kenny the Jet Smith. I think this is his rookie year. There's only a couple in this year. Maybe like this guy, Dark Coleman. I think that might be his rookie card. Another Phil Jackson. That's pretty cool. Keem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon was good, man. Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets were really good. I was afraid of them. I think if the Bulls would have lost that game 6, they would have beat us in game 7. I don't know. It was close every time. It was close every time, and he would just score at will. The Chicago Bulls bigs couldn't handle him. The Chicago Bulls bigs could handle Shaquille O'Neal, but they could not handle Hakeem Olajuwon. He was too quick for him. John Paxson hit the 3 to win the game. It was, I think, the second year. I can't remember. It was the first or second year, or maybe the third. I'm losing my memory, but and then Steve Kerr came along and became like the new John Paxson. Kind of looked like him, kind of shot like him, but Steve Kerr was a better shooter than him. Steve Kerr would, he shot well. He did well. Now he's the coach. Seems like he does a good job. Seems like people like him. A lot of those guys are coaches. Bill Cartwright was a coach, and B.J. Armstrong coached, Larry Bird. Yeah, so it's weird when I see Larry Bird and Magic Johnson play. I don't see like a great player. So I don't know if it's because they were older. I don't know. I mean, they just when you watch the games from the old days, it doesn't look the same. But even when you watch the newer guys play, like when I watch these new guys play, I mean, I hate to like be the money like the unathletic guy. Criticizing the athletic guys, but I mean that's kind of what we're allowed to do. I mean, I at least think we're allowed to do it. I mean, it's kind of why I'm watching it, and I don't see what I saw with these guys. You know, they don't play defense. It's like they don't try. It's like they have an agreement like before they come out. It's like the games are fixed, like not fixed, but like they have like this back room, like little, like, hey, like, you know, let's play like this tonight. So another Nick Anderson and Sean Kemp. I don't know, man. That's what it looks like I'm watching. I know when I'm watching a fake fight, and I feel like I'm watching a fake fight when I watch basketball these days. Looks like I'm watching an entertainment and not, two guys trying to win. And they're all on testosterone. I'll give you that too. A lot of these guys are on testosterone. They don't drug test in the NBA. That's why you never see them get caught. But yeah, they're taking TRT for sure, for sure. You're telling me that what's his name from the Raptors, Vince Carter, played all those years. Big guy without taking testosterone. No, they take testosterone, guys. Big guys take testosterone, or they stop playing sports. Hockey players too. How do you think these hockey players play for 20 years? They don't test. You know what's funny about football is football will test during preseason. So when you're watching the first opening day of football, you'll hear the announcer say, "Oh, this guy was out," or like at game 4, "Oh, this guy served a 4-game suspension for steroids." And then you never hear it again. You never hear it again. But they always catch a few guys, and then never hear it again. You're telling me, look at Reggie Bush. Look how small he is compared to what he looked like when he was in college and when he was in the NFL. I mean, come on, he's strong. He's smaller than me. I'm like 190 pounds. He's like 170, 160. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. I mean, come on. I mean, jeez Louise. So, I don't know. Michael Jordan definitely wasn't, because when he was done, he was done. And Scottie Pippen, I mean, you could tell. I mean, they were just old guys out there. The old veterans, they know how to play the game of basketball. They know how to be in the right place at the right time and not get beat off the dribble. So Stockton, Spud Webb, a lot of the same cards. Another Kemp. So yeah, I'll probably just I should just penny auction it. I'll probably wait like a week. I'll probably do 1 week with, and then I'll wait another week and do just so people can get we'll see. I don't think I'll put all the if you only see one up. I mean, I don't know how the penny auctions are gonna go. There's one going on right now, so I'm a little nervous. I might lose my lunch on it. I mean, another Michael Jordan. I have like four good rookie cards up there that are all like, and they're close. They could be. Oh, that's a nice Carmelo. I like that card. They could be like good grades too. I don't know. I don't want to tell you there are and be wrong and lead you astray, but it looks like a good looking card. I mean, the centering looks good, so I don't know if it's on or not, and I don't know if there's any other problems with it, but maybe touching like this hurts it. I don't know. I got 2 packs left. Karl Malone used to do this thing at the free throw line where he would take like longer than 10 seconds, and there's a rule where you have 10 seconds to shoot the ball, and he would take way longer, and the fans would count. But he was a good sport. Like, he was a funny guy to like. He never let anything bother him, and then he would get under people's skin because it would bother us. Because it was a violation. I mean, it's a 10-second violation, and he sits there and he like mutters something, and he spins the ball in his hand. He takes 2 dribbles, spins the ball in his hand, mutters something, takes 2 dribbles, mutters something, spins the ball in his hand, and then he shoots it. And he takes forever to do it. He does it every time. And people go crazy. People are like, it's over 10 seconds. And the refs never called it. So, but people got mad at Michael Jordan for things like that. People said he got a lot of calls his way. And then it all kind of started with the dunk contest, the second dunk contest with Dominique Wilkins. I thought he won that dunk contest, but Dominique Wilkins got like a 45 on one dunk, which allowed Jordan to then, in his next dunk, if Jordan gets a 50, he wins or something. If he would have gotten a higher dunk, here's our last card here, Charles Barkley. If Jordan would have gotten if Dominic would have gotten a higher score, then Jordan wouldn't have been able to win. And so that kind of thing, the refs kind of helped him. And it was like, oh, shocker, Jordan wins. But he did the work. Like, he did an awesome dunk to win it. So it wasn't like they gave it to him. But they allowed him to be in that position. So, yeah, there we go. Thanks for hanging out and looking at these cards. And as always, check out the penny auction over at eBay. Hedge Card Manager. All right. We'll see you next time.